Hi there, Michelle here, and welcome back to my channel. And today is another Monday vlog where I will be going over everything I did last week, what I'm going to work on this week, and projects that I really want to work on in the future. If you're new to my channel and you like crocheting and yarn and thrifting and the 80s and this general vibe, then why not hit the subscribe button? If you subscribe to my channel, then you will be up to date with all of my latest videos and projects. All right, so where do I even want to start? I feel like this vlog isn't going to be as long as the typical vlogs that I have been putting out recently, mainly because last week I really didn't do anything, and I'm not really doing anything this week. And I've already talked about so many of the future projects that I don't know how many times I can talk about them. Although I do have one that I've kind of talked about, but I've nailed it down to what I want to do. My past Saturday video, I uploaded a video of me working on past projects, kind of either fixing them or finishing them, projects that I have needed to do something to for a really long time. And then another one that I had recently gotten and I'm like, I need to do something with it. The reason why I did that video last week was, one, I love doing those videos. For me personally, I have to film myself working on them in order for them to get done, because in my head, if I'm not making content about it, then I could be making content about something else. I need to film myself doing it, and they'll get done. The second reason why I wanted to do that video last week is I was also working and am still working on a giant tapestry project. Kind of hoping that it would have gotten done for today, because today is Saturday when I put the video out. It did not, but I'm getting close. The projects that I fixed last week are this pillow cover. This here I actually made with the all-in-one granny square yarn. You know how much I love that yarn. They have not come out with any new ones recently, because if they did, I would be testing them out. I really wanted to make a pillow cover for my armrest, or my armrest pillow. I still don't remember what the word is for that. For my bed, because when I crochet, I like to lean on that, and I like to put my elbows up on the pillows. I find that it really helps with my crocheting, and I no longer get back pain. I used to get back pain a lot the way that I was sitting, but because it was just a plain one, I really wanted to jazz it up a little bit, and so I ended up making this really cute cover. Well, over the last 6 months, it has pilled, it has stretched, the actual chair itself has like lost its density. What I ended up doing was I went to Michael's and I got myself some like polyfill or whatever that's called. I restuffed the pillow itself, and that helped a lot. Now for the actual cover, I was actually willing to take the back off of it and then re-crochet it so it's a little bit smaller so it fits it better. But once I refilled the pillow itself, it fit it better. And then I had the other issue of the pilling. There was so much pilling on this because it's acrylic yarn and I'm always rubbing up against it with like my crochet arm, right? I flipped it inside out and I'm like, oh, the inside is fine. So I did take some time to weave in all the ends because I didn't do that the first time around, and over the last 6 months they have just been poking through. Got that fixed, so here's a photo of what it looked like when I first made it, and here's what it looks like now after I made some fixes to it. I'm hoping that I will get another 6 months out of this cover, and then maybe I might have to do some recrocheting or maybe just completely make a new one because I still have so much of that yarn. The other project I ended up doing was a tote bag. What I can't believe I didn't even think of, and somebody mentioned it in the comments. I don't know why I didn't think of it. In the video, I had said that I'd rather the thread match the outside than the inside, so I just used black thread, and now the inside has like a black line through it instead of like this pink thread that I had originally bought. I had originally hand sewed it in, and so it was kind of coming out. And someone's like, you can change the bobbin thread, and I'm just like, why didn't I think about that? Because I could have done that. I could have had the bobbin thread as black, and I could have had the main thread as pink. I don't know why, okay? I like sewing, but also I don't like sewing at the same time. So I'm not like thinking that way. I'm just thinking, let's just get this thing done. And unfortunately, I'm not taking it apart. I just can't do it. It's too much. You know, if I really, really wanted to, I could, and I'll keep that in mind for next time. Okay, that will be in the back of my head for the next time that I have to do a project like this. I will remember next time. So again, I've mentioned this before, the only way that I learn is if I mess up, and then I won't do it again. Thank you to the person who left that comment. I will remember that the next time I have to do a bag where the lining and the outside fabric are 2 different colors. I should have thought of that, and I just did it. And then the other 2 projects were blankets. The one blanket, well, they're still in here because I don't know where else to put them right now. It was my 2024 temperature blanket. I didn't weave in any of the ends for 2 years. I didn't feel like it. And then when it was done, I was like, it's okay. It's a nice blanket. It's very cozy. I think I'm gonna leave it in here for the winter time when I'm like sitting in here and have to film in here. But I kind of wish that I would have done it a little differently. I'm really glad all the ends have been woven in. I didn't do a border or anything. I think my original plan was I was gonna do like a scallop border, and I just didn't feel like it, so I didn't. I like the fact that there's no more ends showing. In the video, I was talking about how I used to do my temperature blankets. I would take the lowest temperature and the highest temperature, add them together, divide them by 2, and get the average temperature. But unfortunately, it like was never really accurate, because it could be like 80 all day, but if in the evening, like at nighttime at like 2 in the morning, it jumps down to 60 degrees out, then it would bring the average temperature down to like a 70. And like that wasn't the true temperature of the day in my eyes. The last 2 years, this year and the year prior, I decided to do like the highest temperature of the day. I think the brown represented 60 degrees Fahrenheit and the orange represented 70 degrees Fahrenheit, but I never got to an 80. And in the video, I believe I mentioned that the 80 would have been a red color. I'm kind of thinking about it now, but I think 80 might have been like a mustardy yellow color. I think I was going back and forth between the two colors. I wasn't too sure which one I wanted it to be, but it never had to get used, so I don't really remember. I probably have it written down in a book somewhere. I don't remember where that even went, but I never got to use it, so thinking that it might have been yellow, because I think the 2023 temperature blanket, I believe that one, the red was the 80. So I'm pretty sure this one was probably a mustardy yellow. I think that would have looked so good with the orange and the brown. You know, it never got used. And then the other blanket was this one here. It was an estate sale find, and it was still on the needles. And if you watched last Monday's vlog, I did an estate sale haul where I did show this, and I ended up just casting it off with a crochet hook. That did not take very much time at all. I think it looks really good. I don't know if you can see that edge. That's what it looks like. Now, would I have liked to continue the blanket? Absolutely, but my knitting skills aren't quite there yet. And I know I probably could read a pattern and I could figure it out. It's just, I didn't feel like doing it. I kind of wanted to just get it done. I do want to give this a little bath. I do have like some, I think it's wool wash. I have some of this, but then I also have another brand. This here I got from Heaven is Handmade. So I have this. It is called Pure Clean Jasmine Cherry Blossom, and it is like a wool wash. So this is something that you would wash your handmade garments in, and I'm pretty sure it's like the other one that I have. Basically, you don't have to rinse it out. You just put it into the water, you kind of swish it around, then you put your garment in, and then you just have to leave it in there for like, I don't know, a few minutes or something like that, and then you drain it. I don't think you have to rinse it. You get as much water out as you can, and then you just leave it to dry. Depending on what you're making, you might need to block it, or you can hang it up, or like however. I did notice that on the piece of paper that this came with, it said that it was machine washable and dryable. I don't know if I really trust the washing machine or the dryer to put it in, so you know, I did finish it. I'm very happy that it is done. Look at how beautiful these colors are. This is definitely something that I would have made. I don't have to make it now because it's already made. I want to put this in my other room, and I know I've mentioned this on previous vlogs, but the other room I still really want to clean up. Again, I know. I just have to make a trip to my storage unit, and I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to be doing that this week, hopefully. I kind of want to like clean it up in there and make it another filming studio. So when I do these Monday vlogs, I'm not always sitting here. I can sit over there. It's just I've had no time this summer to do it. I've just had like one big project after the other, and the current project that I am working on, which I will give you a little update and show you the update as well, taking up my time. And I just haven't had any time to go in there. I'm hoping maybe near the end of this week I'll be able to do that, but like so far this week I am bunkering down and working on my big project. So these are the projects that I fixed/finished for last week's video, and I'm very glad that they are finally done. Now I'm going to go over the other project that I've been working on for the last 2 weeks, and also the project that I'm going to be working on this week, which is the same project. So I thought I would just put the two categories of what I did last week and what I'm doing this week in the same spot because it's the same thing. I have the project in this bag, and it's so fitting because it's in a Stranger Things tote bag, and it is a Stranger Things project. I have to be very careful because the last time I took it out and showed it in a video, the bobbins got so tangled up and it took me like 20 minutes to untangle them. But a lot better than if they were all on their own balls of yarn, because that would have been a nightmare. Now, I'm not going to give like a full view. I'm not going to hold it up so you see the whole thing yet. You're going to have to wait for the main video for that, which will hopefully be this Saturday coming up. So last week, I'm pretty sure I showed you this part. I've gotten done like all of this now. It's looking pretty good. I am almost done zone 2 and 5. How I kind of mapped it out is I made everything into a zone, and I did 6 zones, and I kind of did it where it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like 1 and 6 were side by side, 2 and 5 were side by side, and 3 and 4 were side by side. So I'm almost done zones 2 and 5. I'm almost done the Creole house. I hope that looks like the Creole house. I made a mistake right here, and I was too far in to take things apart. This is a project that I'm not taking things apart. You know, if this was like a sweater or a tote bag, of course I would have went back and took that apart. There's 170 single crochets per row, and I found that out maybe 3 rows in. That was not going to take apart my work. Again, I did mention this, I will be going back with a yarn needle and fixing some things. So this is something that I would fix with the yarn needle. But I think the Creole house looks pretty good. When I'm crocheting it, it's kind of hard for me to see what I'm crocheting because I'm so close to it. So seeing it on the viewfinder, I feel pretty good with how this is looking. That is my little update for this. I don't want to give it away too much. You know, you'll see it when the video comes out. At this moment, I need to get this bag. I wish it was a bag. I'd be done it by now. So at this moment, I need to get this project done by Wednesday. Today is Saturday. That way on Thursday, obviously I can start editing the video for Saturday, but I can go in with the yarn needle and start adding all of that extra detail. And what I thought about the other day is I can take like DK weight yarn and make all those details. It'd be a lot easier. I'd be able to fit more detail in if the yarn is thinner, and it doesn't matter if it's the same yarn that I made it because it's being stitched in. I have been keeping notes. I don't know how many rows I've done so far. I've kind of been doing a little tally of how many rows I'm behind. I'm currently behind 11 rows, and that is like 1 day of crocheting. Every day I am trying to get done at least 11 rows because I calculated it, and with how many days I have to make it versus how many rows I gotta do, I kind of, did the math, even though, I don't really care for math, but I did the math, and I needed to make like 11.6 rows. What are the odds that it would be 11.6? Because the very first episode of Stranger Things occurred on November the 6th, 11/6. So I've been trying to get 11 rows done a day. Sometimes I've been getting done 13, 12 rows. And then other days, such as like my editing days, like yesterday and Thursday, I did not get as many rows done. I think I got 8 rows done on both days, which is okay with me because it's more than I thought I would get done for the day. Unfortunately, I am now 11 rows behind where I should be. Today, though, I'm going to be focusing on this project, and I think I can maybe make it up, at least get half those rows done. So 11 plus another like 6 rows today. So if I can get like 17 rows done on this project, I'd be very happy, because I was looking at it, and the chunk where I am right now, I call it Easy Street because that's all it is. It's just green and roads at the moment. I'm almost done the Creole house. I'm almost done the general store. I just have a few more rows of that. Other than that, I just have to do the road, grass, and a few little bushes. And that is like almost 10 rows of just that. And when I have simple rows like that, it takes me no time to do because it's the color switching that takes a lot. Like the Creole house, this is the back of the Creole house. That takes a lot of time. I also don't think the ends are going to be woven in by the time the video comes out, but that's okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time with it, weave in maybe a few ends every single day just to get caught up with it. But yeah, that's kind of the update of the blanket right now. Now for the backing of the blanket, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, because I know I probably should put some type of fabric so the blanket doesn't stretch. But I do want to point out that the blanket isn't going to be like my sleeping blanket. It'd be cool if I made it big enough to go on the back of the couch, but that didn't happen. It might just be like a little lap blanket. Maybe one day I'll make it into a hanging tapestry. But I'm also still kind of on the fence if I want to make the upside down version and then sew that onto the back of this blanket when it's done. I don't know if I'll take the time to make the upside down version. So I think my goal is just to weave in the ends and call it a day. I don't think I'm going to put any fabric on it because I don't want to put the fabric on and then realize, oh, you know what? I do want to do the back part. That's going to be something I'm going to have to think about when it's done. But for right now, I'm not thinking about that. That is the update on the blanket. This week, obviously, I'm working on the blanket. I am not going to be thinking about any other project. I'm not going to be doing any other project. I want this blanket to be done, mainly because Stranger Things is turning 10 years old, the whole reason why I'm doing this blanket. And the very first episode of Stranger Things aired on July the 15th, 2016, which is a Wednesday. So I was kind of hoping to get that project done before the anniversary, but it's going to have to be done after the anniversary, and I don't want to push it any more than that. That is my focus this week, is to get that done. I also would like to go to my storage unit this week. I think I have some summer stuff in there that I'd like to bring out. So maybe I'll take y'all with me and we'll do that this week. Again, it depends on how much time I have and if I remember. My problem is that I forget to put the stuff in my car and then I leave. And I'm like, right, I don't have the stuff I needed to take to the storage unit. I would also like to spend some more time in here this week and maybe get that back room starting to clean up, maybe on Saturday, maybe next Saturday when this project is done. I can just take a day where I just organize that back room. I would love to do that, but again, this week I'm just focusing on getting that blanket done. I did buy a new yarn the other day and I thought I would just show it to y'all. I am a sucker for anything with a sparkle in it. I know, I bet about this. It is the Big Twist Twinkle. It's pink and it's glittery. I just, oh, it looks like cotton candy. And the color of this one is, I just called light pink. Why? You know how I feel about yarn names. Like this could have been like fairy dust or something fun, but like light pink. Wow, so creative. Ever since I was a kid, anything that was like this light color, like light pink, light blue, white with like a sparkle in it, I have been drawn to. And I bought this because I wanted to make some cute cup coasters and cup cozies with it. I just wanted to show you this really fun yarn that I got. And this is the latest yarn that I've bought. I have been really good at not buying a lot of yarn. And then I did buy a little bit of yarn for this project. I had to buy a blue for the vines, I had to buy this green, and I had to buy the gray for the road. But other than that, I have been really good at not buying yarn. And Mary Maxim is having their tent sale soon, I'm pretty sure. Let me just go look this up. The Mary Maxim 40th anniversary tent sale starts August the 6th and it goes to September the 7th. Me and my sister go to this every year, but basically they have a circus tent out in their parking lot. It is just all yarn. And there's also puzzles and other things, but most of the tent is just all yarn, and all the yarn is like on a discount. I can't help myself when it comes to that. Although I have been pretty good last year, so I think if I'm going this year, I need to have a project that I want to make. There are some crochet projects that I really want to start this year, so hopefully I'll be able to find my yarn there. But yeah, the tent sale is coming up, so I gotta start saving money if I want to get a few things there. I love a good sale. Another project that I really want to get started right after this, and I think I might get it, I don't know. So there's two projects that I really want to get done and I just don't know which one I should do first. It's either the Summerween tote bag that I really want to do because I always do a Summerween project, or some car projects that I really need to do because my car, obviously I had to get a new one. I talked about that. I'm still upset that I don't have my other car. I miss it. I miss how simple it was. I'm getting used to like having screens and stuff, but I just liked it when it was a simple dashboard. My other car, because the seats and everything were like a gray and it was kind of light and airy in that car, and the seats were also like a fabric seat, I kind of had like a fall vibe in there, like a 70s, 80s retro, like oranges, browns, yellows and stuff like that. But with the new car, it's a black car and the interior is like a black, I don't know if it's leather or faux leather, but it's not fabric, and I personally like a car with fabric seats rather than leather seats. It has a whole different vibe and I need to do something different. I do have an idea, and I'm actually going to be using some of my Granny Square all-in-one yarn by Red Heart to do it. So let me go and show you the yarn. I want to use these yarns. I'm not too sure which ones I want to use yet. Somebody in my comments also mentioned this, but I was thinking the exact same thing about making the interior of my car like a 1980s roller rink vibe. And I think that's the way that I gotta go with this car. This car is very like futuristic, and when I think of like futuristic 80s, I think of like the roller rink with like the neon colors and like the black lighting. So I think that that's where I'm going to lean to for the interior of my new car. And I don't think I've used these at all. This one I feel like I don't know. I don't think I've ever used this one though, because no, the center is still there. If you haven't heard of the all-in-one granny square yarn, I have so many reviews on this. I even have my own playlist with all of the videos that I have for these reviews and projects and everything you want to know about these yarns. I have a whole playlist dedicated to that. So with these, there is a black border, a beige border, and a white border. I've done a vest, this vest here, and I used the colors that had a white border. Now what I noticed with the white border colors is whatever the last color is kind of bleeds in to the last row. So if the last row was blue, the border color kind of had a tinge of blue to the white. Same thing if the last row was pink, then the border color kind of had a little bit of a pink red hue to it. Put them together, you could tell the difference. Whereas the last row of this is black. I think this one and this one may or may not get used. I'm not 100% sure yet. My idea for this will be a future video, is I want to make new headrests. I'm not making seat covers because they're heated seats, and I just don't know how well a heated seat is gonna go with an acrylic cover, right? Also, my seat is a beaded seat. You know how much I love my beaded seats. I don't really need to make a seat cover for that, but I do need to make some like headrest covers. So I'm kind of thinking of this one probably. I think this is my favorite one, and that is what the square looks like. So I'm kind of thinking about doing this like on the front part, and then on the back part, I'm going to do like a regular granny square and sew it together and pop it on, because the current ones that I have were from my other car, and that's exactly the same thing that I did. But they're a little bit too big for this car. Then I also want to make maybe some cup cozies with maybe not this yarn, but like maybe yarn that I already have. Ooh, or maybe even like this yarn. And then I also want to make some cup coasters and cup cozies. Then I want to make like something for my arm rest. I'm kind of thinking like a square and then put elastic around it, not 100% sure. And then I want to make a blanket for the back of the car that goes over the back seat. I don't remember the last time that I had a passenger in the back seat of my car. Nobody sits in the back seat of my car, so I don't mind covering it up with a blanket. And if someone does, then I can take the blanket down and they can use the seatbelt. Simple as that. But no one does. The only time I look back there is if I'm looking in my rear view mirror, and how nice would it be to look back there and see a cute blanket. The last blanket that I had in the car, I had thrifted. It was a knitted blanket, and by the time I had to take it out, it was like kind of crumbling where the sun was hitting it all the time. And I'm like, ooh, okay. But my new car has tinted windows. I don't know if I would put the tinted windows in, but they came with the car. So it's like really dark in there. And so, you know, if it's dark in the car, I probably should stick with the vibe and do a 1980s roller rink vibe. So this one here is called Rad Party. This one is called Neon Lights. This one here is called Cyber Leaf. Then this one is called Hyper Violet. And the last one is called Carnation Code. I don't know if I'm going to use this one quite yet, just because I really like how these four look together. I just don't know. Do you think this one kind of goes with it? One of these makes 14 squares. So I think I should be good with all my yarn. I don't think I need to buy any more, because I'll need to make 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and then depending on how big the back is. Now, the other thing though, and I'm not 100% sure on this, I would like to do a join as you go. This already has a black border, and if I were to do a join as you go, so like this here is done differently, but you see how like this black in between all of the squares, I'd be doing something similar to that with these. So I don't know if I would do the last row on all of these and maybe cut it out and then get another black yarn, which I probably would have to buy because I don't have a lot of black yarn, do a join as you go with one color, like with the same black yarn. I might do that because I love how that looks. I think it looks really good. Maybe instead of doing a black join as you go, I get a fun neon color, like a purple or something bright and vibrant, and do a join as you go with a vibrant color. So like this, again, where this is black, would be a fun, vibrant color, and then around each square would also still be a black yarn. I'm gonna have to kind of think about that, because if I do start making the squares, I'm gonna have to figure out if I want to do the last row on each square, or don't do the last row and get a join as you go color. I don't know. that's just kind of where I am for right now. That's something that I really want to work on as well. I just don't know if it's going to be before the Summer Ween project or after the Summer Ween project. I feel like I should probably get the Summer Ween one out a little bit sooner, and I think this one's probably going to take a little bit more time because I'm going to have to make a lot of squares to make a blanket. Another blanket. I don't typically make blankets, and in the last 2 months I've made, or what, last 3 months? I've made, what, 3-4 blankets already? I don't know what's going on with me, but I guess this is the year of the blanket. My car needs it. It doesn't feel like my car yet, because I don't have anything fun in it. So now we're at the part of this video where I'm going to be talking about movies and TV shows that I am currently watching. Last week I was talking about Widow's Bay, and everybody in the comments were also saying how good the show is, and I'm so glad a lot of y'all watch it. It is so good. Unfortunately, I thought it was going to be more scary, so I was crocheting while watching it because I didn't want to be scared. So I need to rewatch it now because I was sitting in bed like watching it, the first episode, and then I started watching the second episode, and if you watch the second episode, then you know later on in the episode it gets a little creepy, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't like be in a dark room watching this. But now knowing how the show goes, I think I am going to sit down and rewatch it and not crochet it because it is such a well-written show and it is so funny. So I think I might be rewatching it this week. I know. What else? I also started to rewatch Stranger Things, but only season 3. Now season 3 is probably my least favorite season. I think it's even below season 5 because at least season 5 takes place in the fall and they have really cute outfits. But season 3, I remember when I first watched it, I really, really liked it, but then like season 4 just blew that out of the water. So season 3, it's like, there's really good scenes. Sometimes, like when I rewatch it, I'm like, oh, I actually really like season 3, but it takes me a while to be like, okay, just watch it. You just gotta watch season 3. And it's good. Like I love all the seasons. It's just season 3 is the least favorite. It takes place like on July the 4th, and it's like the summertime, and you know how much I'm not a big fan of summer. Like there's that. I don't really care for the Nancy and Jonathan storyline. I did like Nancy in season 4. Maybe it's because she wasn't with Jonathan the whole time. I don't know. I just don't really like their storylines. Do you like Hopper and Joyce as they're trying to get to like Illinois? And the music in this season is so good. But yeah, so I've been rewatching that obviously because I've been crocheting the blanket, and I thought, you know, if I'm crocheting a Stranger Things blanket, I need to be watching some Stranger Things. I'm just going to be watching season 3 for this summer. Season 1, 2, 4, and 5, I'm going to start watching that in the fall time. I usually like watching Stranger Things like in November because like that's when it started. I know it started technically on July the 15th, which is next week, but the show's universe pretty much starts on November the 6th, 1983. So I like watching it in the fall time with the autumn leaves and the cool weather and the jackets. I am looking forward to that. Also, I'm looking forward to driving the new car in the wintertime because it has has a heated steering wheel. Yeah, that'll be nice. So I'm watching that, and am I watching really anything else? I think that's about it right now. In the comments below, please let me know what y'all are working on this week. I always love reading about your projects. I think that does it for the video, so y'all have a good day now.